Hey, welcome to Saucy Swift channel, where it is my intention to help you write very saucy Swift code. My name is Mike, and you can call me Saucy. This is my first video for this channel, so I hope you like it. I think it will be very helpful, and constructive feedback is totally appreciated. Today, I am going to walk you through how to create a basic custom camera for taking photos built with SwiftUI for iOS 17. This is a two-part series. We started the video with a demo of the completed project, and this video is part 1 where we cover the UI, and part 2 we will cover the camera functionality. So here is what it's going to look like after part 1. We just have the UI and we have the yellow color in place of where the camera will be. But we can rotate. So if you're interested in camera functionality, go ahead and skip to the second video. Otherwise, we are going to get started right away. So let's jump right in and start with our content view. So I've just created a brand new project. And what we're going to have two state variables. One holding our image data, and it's going to start out as no. The second one maintaining whether we're showing the camera or not. It's going to start out, we're not showing the camera. And then we're going to have our image, and if we don't have an image, then a placeholder image. So if we have data, and if we're able to create an image from that data, then we will show our image. And if we don't have image data, we will show our placeholder image. Very nice. And then right below that, we are going to have our button for opening the camera and taking a photo. And the action for that button is we will make show camera be true. And we'll give us some padding. And now we're going to throw in our full screen cover, which is going to have our camera view is presented. It will be bound to show camera. And our content will be a new view we create called CameraView. And I'm going to move this into a view extension, actually. To make it super easy to use wherever we want to use it. And it's just going to apply the full screen cover view modifier for us. And inside CameraView, we need to keep track of both of these variables. And I'll hit Control Option Command F to get our parameters. Pass in image data and is presented here. And I'll come back up here and I'll call our view modifier. And pass in our bindings. So at the end of the day, it's as simple as that to show our camera on the screen. Oh, and I need to make these not private anymore in this view. Now if I click this button, it should show our empty, almost empty camera view. And it does. So far so good. And now to clean this up a little bit, I'm going to put this into its own file. Now we're going to jump into our camera view. And we're going to start with the camera UI. So in the back, we're going to have just the black color. And then on top of that, we're going to have a V-stack. And we're just going to work on the portrait camera right now. So on the top of the V-stack is going to be the camera preview. And right now, I'm just going to fill that in with yellow. Once we're done with this UI part, we will implement the camera preview. That goes on top. And then below that is going to be our control bar, where we take photos and then cancel or retake or use the photo. And in the portrait camera mode, it's going to be a horizontal control bar. In landscape, it's going to be a vertical control bar that appears on the right side of the screen. So we're doing portrait mode right now, so that is the horizontal control bar. We also want the camera preview to ignore the safe area. And now in our horizontal control bar, we are actually going to be switching between two views. There's the pre-photo control bar and the post-photo. Later, when we implement the camera preview, we'll add logic here so we know which one to show at the correct time. So to get started with our pre-photo control bar, we need to add the cancel button. And I'm going to create a reusable button view here because we have many buttons to make and they're all going to be the same style. Now this view is just going to receive the button label and the button action. It's going to have a white font color. I think Title 3 looks like a nice font size. And semi-bold, a nice font weight. And we'll come back here to our cancel button and use that. And when we hit cancel, we're just going to make show camera be false. Dismiss the camera. Dismiss the full screen cover. So we'll add our cancel button in here. And then have a spacer. And then we're going to have our photo capture button. We will implement the logic of taking a photo later. Now what this looks like is a circle, an inner circle, and then the outer circle that we're just stroking. And then we're going to add that here. And then another spacer. And we're going to see how that looks. And this isn't the post photo. I meant to put this all in the pre-photo. There we go. Now we can see it. It's a little off, so we're going to fix that. So to make it symmetrical, I need to add something over here that's going to take up the same amount of space as the cancel button. So we're going to give the cancel button a specific width. And this is going to be reusable. Now we'll put that on the final spacer too. And there, now it is symmetrical and looking a lot better. I'm just going to make the control bar be a little bit taller. There, I think that's looking good now. So that's it for the horizontal pre-photo control bar. Now we can implement the post photo. And here we have our retake button. And it's going to be use the control button view. And we'll give it the same frame as the cancel button. We'll omit the photo capture button. Then we have our use photo button. And that's looking nice. And then we can switch between the two. Switch back. And that's looking good. Now our view is getting a little large, so I am just going to clean it up a little bit. Now onto the vertical control bar. which should show itself when we are in landscape mode. And the horizontal control bar should not show itself now. So we need to get the environment variable vertical size class. And we know we are in landscape mode. If this value is equal to compact. So we can come down here and say if we are not in landscape mode, that is when we want to show this one. So now it's gone. And now we need to get our vertical, we need to create our vertical control bar. And similarly, we're going to have a pre-photo and post-photo version. And they're going to be VStacks. We'll implement the logic of switching them later. Now we need to show our vertical control bar in here. And it needs to work together with the horizontal control bar. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to wrap the camera preview in an H stack. And if we are in landscape mode, we will show the vertical control bar and it will have the same frame, except it'll be the width this time, as opposed to the height here because it's sideways. So there we go, we can see it. And if we go back to portrait mode, we can still see that we don't see the vertical control bar and we do see the horizontal control bar. So that's working. Now we will implement the pre and post photo vertical control bar. So pre-photo, what that's going to look like is we're going to have the cancel button. And this time we're going to give it the height of the control button width. And on the opposite side, on the top, so cancel button is going to be on the bottom. To take up the same amount of space on top, we're going to have our spacer again. Another spacer, and in between the spacers, our capture photo button, photo capture button. Nice, so that looks good. And then our post photo. On top we have our use photo button with the same frame of the control button width, spacer, and our retake photo button. Simple as that. And we can switch between the two. That looks good, and switch back. Awesome. Now let's take a moment to move our vertical control bar into its own file. And let's take a moment to run our app. So we've got our content view here, and I'll click on take photo. And here we've got the post photo portrait view. And then we go into landscape. Awesome. Vertical control bar, and if we hit cancel, it should close the camera. And it does. Cool. So that is it for the UI. In the next part, we will get into actually creating the camera. So thanks for watching. Please hit that like button if you liked it. Let me know if you have any feedback on this video. This is my first ever video. So if you have any feedback, that would also be great. So thanks for watching.